Welcome to Why Should I Invest? Developed by the International Collegiate Angels Network, or ICAN. At ICAN, we believe that campus-born ventures are today's most underappreciated asset class. Each podcast will spotlight a campus-born founder and the venture they're building. I'm going to ask the tough questions that investors would want to ask. And welcome to Why Should I Invest? I'm Dr. Tom Duening. Today I'm here with Dominika Repcikova. And Dominika is coming to us from Luxembourg today, and she represents a company called the Iron Bar. So Dominika, I'd like you to introduce yourself to our viewers and also give us some background on your company, please.
So hello, and thank you one more time for having me. I'm Dominika, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Iron Bar. And the Iron Bar's journey starts from a very personal story of mine. I was just about 33% of women in reproductive years affected by iron deficiency. And I found myself in and out of treatments. Basically, what happened was that I started having symptoms. I was put on medication. I took medication for 1 to 3 months, stopped taking it. My periods came back and my condition was back. So one day I found myself wondering if there is a product that I could kind of incorporate in my daily diet, or maybe a snack that I could replace my existing snacking with the snack that would really boost my iron on a daily basis in a non-medical way so that I could keep my hemoglobin levels healthy. And I started Googling and I didn't find it, so I created it. So that's how the Iron Bar was born.
Yeah, so many ventures are created from the Googling process, right? It's almost like the replacement of the old napkin that was famous years ago. So tell us about the Iron Bar and where you are in the production of your product.
So currently we are in the MVP/tester stage. In fact, we had our first big testing session 2 weeks ago. We set up stand in a shopping mall here in Luxembourg, and we had people come to us and try the products, which was a big success. I must say, people loved it. Almost everyone said that this is amazing, this tastes amazing. And then a couple of people gave us some feedback, which we incorporated into the last R&D round that is going on right now. And we expect, if this R&D round is to our expectations with our manufacturer, we expect to be market ready and launching between October and November 2025.
Okay, wow, that's fantastic. Well, I think it might help if you give the viewers a little background on your academic research. You mentioned that you're doing R&D on this product, and you really have a very impressive pedigree of academic background yourself. Please tell us a little bit more about that.
So the Iron Bar is not directly connected with my current academic endeavor. Like it was already mentioned, I'm doing a PhD in psychology and immunogenetics. However, when I was studying for my master's degree in cognitive neuroscience, I started having these issues of recurring iron deficiency. And then I started thinking about my symptoms, and I realized that they mask symptoms of anxiety and panic disorder. And I started Googling more on that, and all I found was some anecdotal evidence that really symptoms of panic and anxiety disorder can overlap with symptoms of iron deficiency, such as shortness of breath, dizziness, the feeling that you stand up and you see black, feeling of rapid heartbeats, even if you're not stressed. So things like that. And I decided to make this into my master thesis. In my master thesis, I was researching how far the symptoms of these two conditions overlap, and if it would make sense for physicians to test for iron deficiency whenever a, say, female patient in her reproductive years presents with anxiety or panic symptoms, just to be able to exclude this diagnosis. So that is the overlap between my academic career and the Iron Bar, and then my current PhD. I decided to do a little project when I'm also looking at hemoglobin levels in the blood plasma, so free hemoglobin, which also often is the result of the fallout of red blood cells that happens for various reasons. So I'm looking at that, and the Iron Bar is something that is more about my own personal struggle. And the solution that I presented to other women in my circle in the beginning, and they were all they said, "Oh, wow, this looks amazing. I mean, where can I buy it? When can I buy it? Why are you not selling this?"
Sure.
That is how things kind of fall into place.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I first came across your company, I did my own Google search, of course, to see what kind of products were out there, and there were a couple of products that seemed to be related to some type of a snack that would help with iron deficiency and so on. But apparently, you've made something that actually tastes good.
It first of all tastes good, and second of all, it has 100% of the recommended daily dose of iron for women, which is important for two reasons. First, it is a full snack when it comes to iron. And second of all, women who are health conscious often do not want to eat more than one snack in a day. That is kind of the rule of thumb. Like if I'm going to snack, if I'm going to indulge, I'm going to keep it to like a limit of just one a day. So I wanted something that takes care of the need of boosting my daily iron, whereas not being too much, too much sugar, too many calories, and for the snacking part of my day. So that's how this one came to exist. Other products, of course, are very amazing. Like I looked at other brands. And I see their vision, I see where they're going, but I felt like let's maybe take it up a notch and make it a full indulgent, whole meal, something that you would go for if you know that you are going to be on the run, you need something quick, you know that you want to boost your iron. This is going to take care of all of that.
Okay, great. You did mention a little bit of market research that you've recently done. Is there any other kinds of customer validation that you've done other than
Yes, so we
that
have.
recent
mm,
test? Yeah.
So basically, those are the biggest ones. So we have done a market research two ways. Apart from the testing, we have first looked at the data that is available to us. That means customer satisfaction surveys, statistics on how many women are at risk of developing iron deficiency, how many women are customers of functional food brands, etc. And then we did our own market research where we distributed anonymous surveys on various forums such as Reddit or local forums, forums for moms, forums for women who want to get pregnant,
Hmm.
etc. And we have found something very, very similar. In our sample, which was about 100 women, we got some results which were almost identical with the bigger samples in those official market research surveys that we found online. So those are like the three big parts that we have done. And then some anecdotal evidence, which me personally makes me the
Sure.
happiest, are the women in my area. So whenever we pitch somewhere, whenever we are on an event and we talk about our venture, there are women coming to us saying that this is so great. I cannot wait for this to be available because I have had this problem my entire life. And it's important for us to say that the Iron Bar products are not medical products. And whenever someone has diagnosed iron deficiency, we will always say, take your prescription, because that contains a lot more iron, something that our products cannot tackle. Our
Hmm.
products are more aimed for on the go. You are not acutely affected by the problem, but you want to keep your iron level stable. And that is what our customers now understand. And that
Okay.
is why they choose to, I hope, also really buy the product as they are saying. There is
Right.
one more validation method that we want to
Mm-hmm.
go with, but that's going to be happening probably along our launch. We want to go on a crowdfunding platform, and we want to try to fund the next production round with the money that we raise there. And that is also going to be a more larger scale investigation on the market interest,
Hmm.
because Kickstarter platform is not only Europe based, you have people from the US, there are backers from all over the world. So we want to like venture kind of outside of our comfort zone in the Western Europe and see how our products perform overseas.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understand. Well, investors are going to be interested in your recipe, of course,
Mhm.
and have you done anything to protect it? Is there some intellectual property surrounding your recipe and your
Right.
formulations?
We have already done our research with the information that is out there with our manufacturer, and currently there are basically two options for us. Either we go with the manufacturer's blueprint, which we are doing during the R&D and which we are doing to test whether the product even has customers. In that case, you take something that has been pre-formulated by the manufacturer and just put your specific vitamins and minerals in there as we want to. And that is wholly owned by the manufacturer. So we can, of course, sell it. We can put our name, the iron bar, etc., but we cannot patent the recipe. Then there is option number 2, that you have your manufacturer develop a recipe specifically for you. So we say we want this and this amount of butter. Let's say, let's put some fruits in there, the recipe that we want, some protein, etc. And if our manufacturer makes that for us, that's going to be a unique recipe that we are able to patent. And this is something that is planned for a little bit later down the line. So we want to test how our product performs, if people are buying it, what people say, and then the next step logically would be protecting the recipe and protecting the brand. That is something that we are working on right now. It's a little bit of a longer process in Luxembourg. And in Europe, I don't know what's the situation in the US, but in Europe, there are very strict rules to what can you protect. And basically, if your brand is too descriptive of the products that you're making, there you have limited options on protecting it. So
okay. Well, you're thinking about it, looking into it. And my next question, in fact, was going to be about your production and manufacturing. It sounds like you have a manufacturer lined up. So I guess my next question would be, are they able to scale with you?
They are able to produce about 1 million bars in a month in one factory. They have 2 factories right now in 2 European Union countries. And for us right now, that's okay. That's something that is over our expectations. However, if or when the demand increases, we would be very, very happy to have that. There is another factory in Germany which would be able to produce our recipe. So there would be 1 extra factory to support us. And that's also something that we want to do anyway, because if you have 1 or 2 factories, something happens, you have to have a factory to fall back on. So currently we have 2 factories from 1 manufacturer who we are working with, and 1 extra factory that is able to work with us in case we need that.
Wow, terrific. Wow, what a great job you've done so far. And you've got a good team behind you. Could you tell us a little bit about other folks that are on your team?
Yes. So my co-founder, Mila Marinova, is someone who has been with me ever since we started working on the iron bar really intensely. So that's been a little bit over than a year. And she is, just like me, academic. She has done her PhD in cognitive neuroscience, and also her background is cognitive neuroscience like mine. She's currently enrolled as a postdoc at the same institution as I am, University of Luxembourg. And she has a lot of expertise in managing complex team and the work psychology. So she has been working with people on complex projects and in charge of groups of students, groups of fellow academics. So I really have a lot of trust, not only in her ability to take care of the operational processes of the business with me, but she's really amazing with people. So if we have people from various countries, various cultures, she is amazing at, making things work and communicating with everyone. And then we have also Davide, who is a food scientist, who is on our team as someone who really overlooks the things that we have in mind. Because, for example, it is not as easy as putting iron in a product and calling it a day. You have to really look at what are the other ingredients. Are there any inhibitors? Are there any compounds which could make the absorption of iron, which is already tricky, be a little bit better or a lot better? So he is there in charge of really looking at the recipe and looking at the ingredients and say, okay, this is going to work or this is not going to work. We have to work on that. Then we have Paulina, who is our IT hero, who is taking care of the website, who is taking care of SEO, because I am a very basic user of these things. So she has done a great work doing that. And then we have Lily, who is our marketing expert or marketing person, and she is a little bit more external than the others, but she's always there when we need something checked. So
wonderful.
That's us for now.
This is great. What a wonderful story you've got. And
Thanks.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm going to get it right about how much money you intend to raise on this round. I've got about $200,000 that you're seeking to raise on this round. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is 2 rounds. So 40,000 we are raising currently. And then depending on the demand, as we expect, if that expectation is correct, we will be raising another 160,000 euros in the second round.
Okay, and that is exclusive of the Kickstarter or the crowdfunding
Yeah.
campaign. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then tell us how you would, how you intend to use those funds.
So we have now secured enough to do the whole R&D process and produce the first batch, which is going to hit the markets in fall. And the usage of the funds would be to give us a little bit of a runway for production. So because we expect if the demand is high enough, we expect not to be able to make enough revenue from the first batch to satisfy the demand right away. So we will need a little bit of a runway to produce a couple of batches first. And then another use would be the go-to-market strategies. How we plan to go to market is targeting influencers, first of all, because we feel that they have the most access to our target demographic, which are young women, active women, women who take care of their lifestyle, who take care of their health. And then also things like targeted SEO, targeted ads on social networks, things like this. So that would be the two main allocations of the money. Then there is a little bit of money towards operations, such as, renting an office. We don't really have even an office. We have a table in a registered office building, which is enough in Luxembourg to have a legal business. But the main two groups would be runway and go to market.
Got it. I just have two more questions. We're running out of time. I just wonder if you have any distribution relationships set up with supermarkets or anything right now.
We have a distribution partner for logistics and fulfillment here in Luxembourg and the neighboring countries. And we have had some talks with supermarkets, but they want to see the ready-made finished product. And we also want to showcase some kind of traction online first before we give it to them.
Okay.
But we are in talks. We know about each other. That is the big advantage of a small country, that these things are really not problematic to do. And I would be happy to target as many supermarkets, cafeterias, pharmacies, etc., as possible.
Yeah, I think it does have that kind of wide distribution potential.
Yeah.
And then finally, I guess investors would want to know, given that you are in a PhD program and so on, how much of that of your time are you able to spend on the business?
Right. So I'm in my final PhD year. I will be defending my thesis in February 2026, so less than a year, which is exciting. And of course, ideally, I would be able to start working full-time on the Iron Bar as soon as I'm done with my PhD. And currently, we both are working on the Iron Bar full-time, even though we are working full-time as me, PhD researcher, PhD candidate, and Mila, my co-founder, as a postdoctoral fellow. Her fellowship ends in November. And of course, that would be amazing if the Iron Bar was doing so well that we could both work officially full-time on it. Currently, it's about, allocating time smartly. So whenever needs to be done, I do it, or I delegate, or Mila does it, or she delegates. And then also I work on my PhD and a successful defense in a couple of months.
Terrific. And I've been to your website. Your website has a unique URL. It's theiron.bar.
Yes.
Make sure everybody understands theiron.bar.
Yeah.
And I end all of these podcasts with the simple question: why should I invest?
Because it's amazing. Yeah, no. The biggest why would be that we believe that functional nutrition and health is something that is really on the rise out of two reasons. First, the emergence of internet and free information. People know more about their health than ever before. And also with the recent pandemic, we have understood that we need to pay more attention to our health. We need to stop taking it for granted. And that is really reflected in the functional foods and supplements market, which is rising. The functional foods market is growing by 4.1%. The supplements market is growing by 7% by 2033. And that really is a proof that people are changing how they think about their health. And then also taking care of your health is more accessible than ever before. So you not only have the information, you also have the solutions present to you at all times and everywhere. So I think investing in this segment is not only backed by numbers, but also makes sense, because this is where people are going to go. And that's why also we feel that it makes sense to pursue the Iron Bar. And that would be my why. Why should you invest?
Thank you. I'm speaking today to Dominika Repcikova of the Iron Bar, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Dominika.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, and let's see what happens.
All right. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Bye.
For more information about how you can get involved in the ICAN mission, please contact me directly via email at tomdenning@icanhub.net.